The story of John Wick is one that fans have enjoyed since the very beginning. When Keanu Reeves took on the role, he portrayed the character that spawned a series of action movies that elevated the genre. Each film features a star-studded cast, creative action sequences, and elements of storytelling that fans have adored. The films have also spawned many memes, leaving another kind of imprint on pop culture. The biggest news regarding the franchise is that its fourth chapter was recently released. It has been well received and made plenty of money at the box office. The movie itself and its financial success already have fans asking an important question. Could we still see a John Wick 5? Some answers point to it being a possibility. Despite the fact that a fifth movie was technically greenlit back in 2020, John Wick Chapter 4 was meant to be the last film in the series. The director, Chad Stahelski, said so himself. He noted that there was originally an idea to film and release the fourth and fifth movies back-to-back. That changed when they settled on the premise and storyline for the fourth film. Stahelski thought it would make for a fitting end to the character's journey. The fourth film's reception and $141.4 million in box office sales, a series record, may change his mind. Given all the praise and earnings of the film, Lionsgate is encouraged to explore the possibilities. Lionsgate's Motion Picture Group president Joe Drake commented on the situation. He said, "We're all going to take a tiny rest here and then scratch at ideas about whether there's a credible way to get into 5. He then added that there were no guarantees. He also addressed that there would be creative challenges, especially since the fourth film was intended to end the series. He, of course, gave more hope by adding, "And you could certainly interpret that ending in different ways." Of course, the company leader hopes that the team can come together again, giving fans at least one more adventure with the master assassin. Stahelski himself commented on the possibility of a fifth movie, noting that he and Keanu are proud and will never say, "We're done." He added that he needs a little time to breathe and see how the fourth film performs. That, of course, leaves the doors open for John Wick to return in the potential fifth film. What did Wick himself, Keanu Reeves, have to say about the possibility of a fifth movie? The actor has been enthusiastic about returning for each sequel. With the fourth movie intended to be the last one focusing on his character, things are a bit more complicated. Reeves was also on board with ending his character's journey and potentially returning for cameo appearances in spin-offs. In fact, that's already been set in motion. Lionsgate's Joe Drake also mentioned that Keanu appears in the John Wick spin-off film Ballerina, interestingly, in a very strategic way. Keanu clearly has a lot of love for the character he portrays. The actor has also said it's possible for a John Wick 5 movie. However, he has one condition that has to be met for him to reprise his role in that film. The condition is that the director Stahelski has to be involved. This is a smart call on Reeves' part. Stahelski had the vision, built the universe, and built up the characters. It was through their collaboration that the series was able to garner so much praise and success. This is especially true with how well the fourth film is doing. Keanu understands that Stahelski will likely be the only person who can keep the tone consistent, as well as other elements, if the series is expanded to 5 films. Thus, it makes perfect sense that this would be his condition for returning. Given their history of collaboration, Reeves is making sure that the script makes sense and properly respects the characters. Of course, there are also the action and stunt components. Stahelski has put his own unique stamp on those elements throughout the series, and it wouldn't be nearly as successful in those areas without his involvement. Keanu and the stunt teams brought those elements to life. Without him, the series isn't the same either. Luckily, he remains open to a possible 5th installment in the series. However, there is a question that remains. Why would a 5th film be difficult to make? Towards the end of Chapter 4, John Wick initiates a duel with the Marquis. He ends up dueling Kane, his blind friend, for his freedom from the high table. The two wound each other through several rounds until Wick hits the floor. The Marquis steps in to finish him off, only to receive a bullet to the head. Wick cleverly chose not to fire in the last round, giving him one last shot. With this, he killed the Marquis and earned his freedom. However, he also succumbs to his wounds, slumping over while Kane and Winston tend to him. The final scene of the film shows Winston and the Bowery King visiting John's grave with his pit bull. We also see that John Wick's grave is next to his wife's. Although this seems like the definitive end for the character, there is some speculation that Wick could still be alive. For one thing, we never see his dead body or him being lowered into the grave. Although he collapsed, there's no confirmation of his death. This suggests that John Wick faked his death and funeral, possibly to avoid any further attacks from the high table.
You want to kill him? You want to kill him? I want to kill him. What about you, Mr. Vic?
There's another slight detail that could support this theory. During the final scenes, the Bowery King asks Winston if John went to hell or heaven. Winston responds with a smirk as they both walk away from the grave. This could potentially be a code for different safe houses. They may be assisting John as he tries to lay low or start another peaceful life, putting contract killing behind him for good. These theories do have some holes though, like the fact that the duel already freed him from the high table's machinations. Still, this is an angle the creative team could take if they decide to pursue a fifth John Wick film. Could they make John Wick 5 a prequel with Reeves returning as the titular character? This remains an option for the series as well. As it was hinted at in the first movie, Wick had plenty of missions before he left his hitman days behind to settle down with his wife. If the filmmakers wanted to explore more of the character, they could always look to the past instead of the future. This does present an issue since Keanu Reeves is 58 years old. Although he isn't entirely done with the action genre, a prequel would create the expectation of a younger, more active assassin than Reeves would be able to portray. That means they would either have to recast him or digitally de-age him and heavily rely on stunt doubles. Both would feel wrong for the character, although it wouldn't be an issue if we only got glimpses into the assassin's past. But a whole movie would be difficult to manage. Fans who just want to see the character on screen one more time shouldn't worry too much. As mentioned earlier, we will see Reeves as Wick again in the film Ballerina, a spin-off of the series. According to reports, the film, which will follow another assassin, will take place between the events of Parabellum and Chapter 4. The film series also has another spin-off titled The Continental. This spin-off will be a short drama prequel series that focuses on the Continental Hotel, a safe haven for assassins of the criminal underworld. We're bound to see more of Wick and other characters from the films in that short series. It's clear that a lot of people love the John Wick movies, especially the filmmakers behind the series. With the latest installment performing so well critically and financially, fans are buzzing about another possible sequel. Although it may not come within the next few years, the possibility of another sequel is still present. That means fans could still see John Wick 5, with Keanu returning to play the character once more.